What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching again today. So, today you might notice that I'm in a better mood today, and today I want to kind of talk a little bit more about my depression and kind of why I'm in this mode. And today's video is going to be titled something like "Empath plus stress plus depression equals addiction?" question mark. That's kind of what I believe is the cocktail of things that um, has led me to addiction and kind of continues to lead me to addiction. So not too long ago, I learned that I am an empath and kind of dove into that and learning about what that means. For any of you that don't know, it basically means like anybody that I love or who's in my life, like if they're going through struggles and pain, I kind of take that on as my own pain. You know what I mean? So um, that's just very basic description of it. So this video is going to be a total rant, just total rant. Basically, I'm just kind of talking about my personal stuff. So if you don't want to hear that, you're welcome to cruise out. So this is more of a video kind of for myself. I like to look back on my videos. So, all right. So once I learned that I'm an empath, this morning I actually kind of had a really good realization, and I feel like I've kind of pointed the finger at Suboxone for making me so isolated. But looking kind of deeper past it, I definitely think Suboxone has a hand in making me feel okay with being so isolated. But I think more of it has to do with my very strong empathy habits, whatever you want to call it, traits, I guess. So I'll kind of dive into this story a little bit. I'm just trying to think of how to frame it. So this most recent kind of depressive episode that I've had was mostly triggered by, so the girl that I've always kind of talked with you guys about, that I was in a relationship with. I guess you could still say that I'm in a relationship with her. We're kind of doing the long distance thing. She comes and we kind of see each other about once or twice a month, which is challenging, as she is 4 hours away from me. So, okay, we're just trying to figure out how to make that all work. So that's pretty stressful. So she actually came to see me for my birthday not too long ago. She drove her vehicle, which is a Jeep Wrangler. Ugh, just thinking about that thing. Her Jeep has stressed me out so much. She owes way more than it's worth. I know this is really nobody's business, but on this channel, I'm all about sharing my personal stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to give out any names and say who she is or whatever, but I like to be open with you guys and kind of tell you my personal stuff. So she owes a great deal on her Jeep, and it's kind of at the point where it's starting to kind of be a turd and things are going wrong. So she drove it all the way out here, 4 hours. She was having check engine light issues, so I checked that when she got here. I fixed the check engine light issue. She drove home, and her clutch blew out literally the second she got off the freeway. So thank God she made it home, but her clutch just took a crap. And me being out here, all my tools are here. There's nothing I can do for her here. So she's instantly scared. She's stressed. It's going to be a lot of money to fix that. So she goes into panic mode, which means I go into panic mode. For some reason, I'm not really able to. It's really only with the people that I'm closest to. Whenever they are going through hard times like that, and I'm really kind of unable to separate myself from that. So I take on all of her stress, So the same day that she did that, I was going on a vacation and with my family, and it was extremely hard for me to be present because I was just constantly replaying in my head all these problems. Not just her problem, but I have similar problems with other cars that I have. So a lot of car stress. But mainly I was worried about her and if she's going to be okay mentally, is she going to have a breakdown about this? She's out there in the state that I pretty much left her in. She doesn't have any family there. She has maybe a friend or two, and they're not even really that close. So I'm just feeling bad for her, and it feels like it literally kind of felt like when somebody dies. You just have that pit in your stomach, just horrible feeling, and just felt really bad for her. So I'm spending the entire vacation worrying about her and worrying about my own problems that I have, and just stressing, and that's just. Then I started getting migraines, and then I'm just wasting the entire vacation. I don't even enjoy the vacation. I just want to go home and start getting this stuff figured out. So immediately I found her somebody that could take care of her Jeep, do the labor. I lined up all the parts and found the best deals, and just spent it's been now half a week every day that I've been talking with her mechanic all day, and just it's got me so far off of my own life and my own business that now I'm getting behind in my own life because I'm so worried about her and getting her going. So as I was saying, going back to the isolation, I really believe that a major part of my isolation and why I've kind of abandoned everybody in my life is because I stress so much over what they have going on, especially people that are addicts. Whenever I see anybody in my family like getting drunk, and see them struggle with addiction, it just really hurts my heart, and it's like I can feel their pain. So I think that's why I've distanced myself from any friends that might have had troubles with addiction, because it just, not only is it triggering for me, and I can't stand people that get drunk. I have zero tolerance for that, and I used to drink quite a bit, but it just annoys me and it triggers me so bad. So anybody that drinks, I won't hang out with them. Alcohol has just ruined so many people's lives that I know personally, and almost everybody struggles with alcohol addiction. It's so sad to me. And just because it's legal doesn't make it okay. I mean, that is, just imagine what that's doing to your guts. That is roasting your guts. I mean, there's a reason it's making you feel so loopy and weird, and you throw up the next day. Like, it's literally just poison in your body. Like, so anyways, I don't want to go off on that. But other than that, I really feel like my empathy stuff has kind of forced me to not want to really be around anybody, because anything they're going through, it stresses me out, and I want to try to fix their problems for them. So if any of you guys struggle with anything like this, let me know how you've dealt with that. For some reason, I can't do it, and I've spent so much time working on the inner stuff and trying to figure out ways to get on higher vibrational levels and meditation, and just I spent thousands of hours trying to better myself emotionally with all the self-help stuff, just so much time, and it's just like an unlimited thing. You can never learn enough. But if you guys have any tips for me on how if you guys are empaths, I can't even watch the news, because and even when I see like those pet commercials that shows the pets that are starving and just abused or something like that, like that kind of stuff can literally make me cry, because I feel like I'm there in that moment with them, and that image will stay in my head all day. I just have to really be careful what I watch, what I listen to. So you have the empath stuff, and I'm also under a great deal of stress with my business. Whenever I was living in the other state, I didn't really have a job or anything that I had to do. So it was pretty easy for me to taper my Suboxone, because my life was stress-free. It really was. I hardly had any stress. I could do almost whatever I wanted to do. Now I'm creating a business from scratch. For those of you that don't know, it's a car dealership. I'm running a car dealership all by myself. I'm doing every single part of it. And if you know anything about running a car dealership, you know that is a lot of freaking work. So the stress of that is kind of starting to pile up, and my bills are high, really high. I'm not used to that, and so between the stress and the empath stuff, I feel like those two things kind of throw me into depression. Okay, I don't really struggle with depression if I don't have a lot of stress. So even as of today, her Jeep should be good and fixed, and so my depression is lifting just because of her issue is getting better. So that kind of shows you how bad that is for me. Is like I let her issues mess up my entire weekend, my entire week, and throw me totally off balance. So I've got to find a way to make that better. It's really, really hard for me to stay focused when I let other people's crap wear me down, and I feel like I have to fix everybody's problem. It's not my duty. All I can do is what I can do. I mean, I'm not there with her. I can't do anything really. So I might as well just not let her stuff stress me out, you know? So anyways, so yeah, I really feel like the stress really kind of pushes me to depression and just kind of makes me want to shut down. And then I feel like once those things just add up, it kind of pushes me towards addiction and my addictive behaviors. I do feel like, some of you mentioned in the comments yesterday that you're surprised to see that I'm back on Suboxone, and it's definitely not the ideal thing, that I want to do. I'm definitely not proud of it, and that's probably another reason why I was so down in yesterday's videos, because I feel like I let a lot of you guys down. And that sucks to have to come on and admit that crap, when everybody's rooting for you and everybody thinks you're doing so good, and you guys have spent so much time watching my videos, and so it sucks to let you guys down. And I know I've helped a lot of you guys through your tapers and withdrawals, and I love hearing those stories, man. Some of you guys left some stories saying that I'm the one that helped you get off, and you've been off, and that literally, when I hear that stuff and that I've been able to help some of you, please feel free to share your story if I've helped you in any way. That literally helps me so much. You guys have no idea how much your comments mean to me. So thank you all for that, for making your comments and being so kind. It's really cool that people that you have no idea where they are in the world can have such an effect on your day. So I really appreciate every one of you guys. So where I'm at today, as I mentioned previously, I got solid at about 4 milligrams of Suboxone, and I don't really self-guilt myself too much if I'm taking 4 milligrams or less. So yesterday I was able to get by with 3 milligrams. And I know that that's kind of a big jump to go from 4 milligrams to 3 milligrams, but where I started feeling like 4 milligrams was just a hair too much, okay? And I think that my body is gonna let me taper a little bit faster if I want to, if I need to. I feel like my body will let me go down a little faster this time because I've been off it for a while, and somebody asked yesterday how long I've been on it for. It's been almost a month now. And as I mentioned, I got up to as high as 8 milligrams. That's how fast your tolerance can grow on this stuff. I started at 2 milligrams. That wasn't really cutting it, so I went to 4 milligrams. And as I was raising my dose, it was me kind of trying to escape reality, rather than just accepting all the crap that I had going on as it was. I felt like taking a higher dose would kind of help me escape for some reason, or maybe help me feel better about it, and that wasn't the case, guys. So I know that that's my addictive personality trying to trick me, and but I'm here to tell you, the higher the dose got, the worse it made my depression. It just made me want to lay in the shower all day, lay in bed, and just watch YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, are any of you guys, I know some of you guys got to be addicted to that shit. That has been a huge addiction. It is a huge addiction. Um, I find myself watching YouTube several hours a day. Even as of now, I feel like most of my mornings are filled with watching YouTube videos. And it has been this way for years. I can't imagine how much money I've cost myself just watching YouTube. Um, are you guys, a lot of you guys addicted to watching YouTube? I mean, I know it's not a substance, but it is an addiction, and it's a huge drain on resources. If you think about it, you're wasting so much time. So I even got the hour counter on where it reminds you every hour. It stops your video, and that kind of helps me realize it sometimes, but usually I'll just dismiss it and keep playing. So I definitely still have some addiction issues, guys. It's going to be a long bumpy road, but I'm confident that I'm heading in the right direction. I mean, I've conquered sex addiction, I've conquered painkiller addiction, I've conquered caffeine addiction, which I've kind of started tinkering around with caffeine again, and I know I don't need to go down that road again, so I need to cut that off. What else have I conquered? Did I say alcohol already? I used to really kind of drink a lot of alcohol. I've conquered money addiction, money making addiction. I've conquered steroid addiction. I've conquered a lot of hard addictions, and I've conquered addiction to dramatic women in my life and dramatic people in my life. I feel like I used to just suck that stuff right in and just like, I don't know. I can't deal with drama people anymore. I just cut everybody that starts drama in my life. I just remove them immediately. As you get older, you realize you have a lot less time to deal with that kind of bullshit. When you're in your teens and 20s, it's kind of normal to have dramatic people around you, but as soon as I got in my mid 30s, early 30s, I was like, dude, I don't have to keep these people around. I don't care if it's family, best friends. If they're causing me drama or causing me to feel crappy, they'll be removed. So so I wonder if you guys can relate to that. So being an empath and having stressful situations makes me fall into depression, which makes me fall into addiction. So that's kind of what I pieced together from this recent re-journey into Suboxone. That's kind of where I'm at. It's probably, maybe it's not the best idea, but at least I'm not, and this is me trying to justify, as somebody said, and if I'm trying to justify, that's fine, it is what it is, but at least I'm not out there breaking any laws. I'm not taking painkillers and risking my life. I'm doing this in an attempt to help my depression and help me just be more stable. My emotions are so crazy all over the place. Even some days lately, I've been thinking about already closing my business because I'm so overwhelmed. With relationships, some days I feel like, I want to proceed with certain relationships, and then the next day I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is going to work. So, I feel maybe I'm bipolar. I don't know what the fuck, but some days I want a family, some days I don't. I'm just... my mood changes so often, and I don't know if you guys have any idea what the hell that's all about, or if that's just part of life for everybody. But sometimes I want to move back to the state I came from. Sometimes I want to stay here. Sometimes I want to sell all my shit, and this is probably something I will do in the next few years if you guys are following me. Sometimes I want to sell everything that I have and buy a diesel truck and buy like a 30-foot camper trailer and just go around the country and go wherever the hell I want. That sounds like that's probably going to be one of my next missions in life. But this car dealership that I just started, I'm committed to it for 2 years. I need to really push myself to stick that out. I've got to find a way to be committed to things and stick it out through the hard times. So if I can just do that, thrash, make some good money, and then maybe I can just sell everything and then take off for a couple of years and just kind of see where I end up. That sounds like so much fun to me. I know a lot of people wait till they're retired and older to do stuff like that, but if I can find a way to do it, which I believe I can, I'm probably going to do that in a couple of years. So anyways, guys, just a long rant. I hope you guys are all having a great day. And as again I said, I'm at 3 milligrams Suboxone today and feeling much better. So let's keep on going, baby. Have a great day, guys.